This is EHJ Today at the Annual Congress of the European Society of Cardiology in Barcelona 2014. And I'm Tom Luescher, Editor-in-Chief of the European Heart Journal. And I have the privilege to talk to the new President of the European Society of Cardiology, Fausto Pinto, and the Chief Executive Officer of the European Heart House, Isabelle Bartinet. Fausto and Isabelle, welcome.
Thank you.
Fausto, first of all, congratulations for your election just a few minutes ago. To the new President of the European Society of Cardiology. Let's be a bit personal at the beginning. So how did you get to the European Society, and what did you do in the past for the ESC?
Well, thank you very much for that question, Tom. Once I returned from the US, I did my training at Stanford in the early 90s. I started to get a little bit involved with the ESC. At that time, I was recently a specialist. I got involved first with a working group at the time on echo. Then in the late 90s, I got, at that time, elected for the nucleus of the working group. And then I was elected as chairman of the working group on echo, which then became the association. I was actually the first president of the European Echo Association when the associations started in 2003. Then I continue with the society at different roles. I was elected as councillor. Then I was chairman of the Congress Program Committee for 2009 and 10. I was then elected vice president for national societies and affiliated under Michel Comajda. And then in the last board, of course, I was elected as president-elect with Panos Vardas. So I've been over 15 years now involved with the society, different roles. I serve different boards: Michael Tindera, Roberto Ferrari, Michel Comajda, Panos Vardas, and now I'm starting my new board.
So the right experience for the job, that is certainly a challenge. So people would also be interested, what do you do at home? What's your job at home?
Well, as I've mentioned, I did my training in the US after taking my MD in Lisbon. That's where I'm from Portugal. And once I returned, I've been at the University Hospital of Santa Maria, which is the main university hospital in the country. I'm the head of cardiology in that hospital. I'm also the chair in the medical school of the cardiology clinic. And I've been extensively involved both at the hospital level and at the university level with cardiology for many years. At the same time, I've developed a group. We have a good team that dedicated to different areas of cardiology. And it's been quite exciting, particularly these last few years, to develop a group that is very much dedicated to the different fields of cardiovascular medicine. Personally, I've been more interested at the beginning of my career in echocardiography and imaging.
Sure, yeah.
I worked with Rich Popp at Stanford. I also did an interventional cardiology fellowship at Stanford because I was interested at that time on intravascular ultrasound.
Right.
Actually, my PhD thesis is on the use of intravascular ultrasound to study graft atherosclerosis in the transplant patients, which, of course, at Stanford was the place to be.
Very important.
And since then, I developed also interest in cardiovascular imaging as a whole, and I have also some interest in ischemic heart disease. Now, more recently, got also involved a little bit more into the whole issue of anticoagulation. But imaging continues to be one of the areas, together with the intervention, that I feel more close to.
Well, it's important that the President has a broad view of cardiology. So how much time will you assign to your new job in the next 2 years?
Well, we're
not talking about 42 hours a week.
Well, I wish not my wife, but no, for the ESC, when I decided to run for this position, of course, you have to be very clear that this will be. It's in fact very close to a full-time job.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So what I did is to organize things locally with my team, with the head of the hospital and the head of the medical school, the dean, so I can be a little bit excused of some activities, so I can be a little bit more focused on the society for the next 2 years. As you know, it's a big job. Right. The society grew a lot. We will probably discuss a little bit more about the society. But right now it is such a huge structure that if you want to do a good presidency, you really have to dedicate your time, despite the fact that you've been involved with the society for so many years. So I think I have a good knowledge. But in this position, it's very important that you dedicate a substantial amount of time. Also because we are a federation of national societies. We have 56 countries, so we have 6 associations, the 16 working groups, now the 5 councils, the 39 affiliated societies. And it's important that of course, the whole board and the whole structure of the society is involved in all these activities, but people like to have the president and like to discuss with the president many issues, and I volunteer for that. As you know, we are all volunteers, and I will try to do my best, so I will not disappoint the people that elected me to be here.
Oh, I'm sure. Let's talk a little bit about the Congress. Again, it was a great success, also in terms of organization, thanks to Isabel. What's your take home of the Congress?
Well, I think we should all be very proud of what we are achieving in Europe. And this is really something that we should take into account very seriously. We are probably one of the few specialties that we are leading the world now in terms of many activities, including the Congress.
It's a global Congress.
It's a global Congress. Here in Barcelona, we had more than 30,000 participants, which is really something amazing considering all the changes, all the problems, all the current environment. This is really amazing. And it shows that we are the platform for the presentation of science, cardiovascular science coming from all over the world. And also it's sort of a hub where people come to interact with the other colleagues, to have parallel meetings, to discuss many issues related with their own activities, to meet. So it's quite interesting that despite all the tools we have today for e-communication, people still need to have a place, a platform where they can come and they can speak to each other.
And they can
see the experts. Listen to the news, go to the hotlines, get the latest clinical trials. We're very proud to have a large number of submissions for hotlines, which means that the people who are involved with the big clinical trials, they see ESC Congress as the Congress to present their data.
Right. Now, Isabel, the European Heart House played an important role, started by Michel Bertrand, and you run it, so congratulations on an excellent organization. So how many people did you need to run such a huge enterprise?
Well, the Heart House staff currently is just over 160 people, permanent staff, who deal with all of the activities of the ESC, which has grown immensely. For the Congress, there's a team of 35 permanent staff members who organize it all year round and who've already started organizing the next one in London. And so they're the ones who are really putting this together. We see the Congress as a platform on which you can all come and make those exchanges and have that fantastic scientific exchange, but also all of the networking and people meeting. I think, as Fausto was just saying, the international side of the Congress has absolutely developed. And just coming here this morning, I was seeing people who were from Asia Pacific, talking to people from Africa, talking to people from Europe. I think it's a fantastic opportunity of exchange.
So what is the European Heart House doing except the Congress?
We help to manage all of the relationship with the national societies and with the affiliate societies. Then there's the large clinical and scientific initiatives department where there are the registries, and there's a group that has been completely created since 2009 to manage all of the registries. There's the team that manages the guidelines, which is a fantastically professional team, and they're really wonderful. They're the people who manage the education, which has been developed immensely in the past 3 years with the creation of the platform and the distance learning.
The ESCAL platform.
The ESCAL platform and all of the other distance learning as well. And this is not only for ESC, but also for all of the subspecialties. And currently on the ESCAL platform, we have over 150 different modules of all of cardiology, so it is a very important group. Then you have all the marketing, all the e-communication. We have a big IT team because obviously we have our own servers. Sure. So all of these people, and then there's a group of people you mustn't forget, which are all the finance team, who have to deal with the intricacies of VAT and other fascinating things like that.
Good. Now I think the ESC is really a success story, and we are really proud to be part of it. But now, what about the future to end, Fausto? What are your plans for the future? What's the vision?
Well, the ESC is such a big structure that one of the main priorities is to keep what has been done so well over the last few years, look at the new opportunities, be aware of what is going on so we can make the right decisions. And I think we have to continue to follow our mission of reducing the burden of cardiovascular disease in Europe, also to promote healthy lifestyles, so not only reducing disease but promoting healthy lifestyles, and work a little bit more on prevention. And by being a scientific society, we have the responsibility also to increase the awareness of the weight of cardiovascular disease in Europe, in the world, but in this case particularly in Europe, and to develop the tools that can help us to fulfill our mission through education, through accreditation, through advocacy, through all the different activities that we have at the ESC with the help of the Heart House. And here I would like to give a big thanks to Isabel, leading a wonderful group of people that really help us to develop all our activities. So I think we have to keep this strategic position, this strategic vision of having a big scientific society, well organized, that can deliver what we want as professionals, as members of a big community, which is to improve the way we can do our practice to our communities, so we can serve better the community. That at the end, that's our goal.
Right. Well, the future is bright. Thank you very much, Fausto. Thank you very much, Isabel, for the interview.